Good morning. It is a fresh Monday morning, March 4th. Today we're talking about an OEM that cares more about consumer demand, the world's fastest EV charger, and maybe Waymo has a way forward. Maybe they do. Looks like it.
You know what else we're talking about, Paul?
What are we talking about?
We're talking about it's your birthday.
Hey,
Hey,
birthday present.
happy
Oh, look,
birthday.
special graphic and everything.
He got a graphic and everything. Look at that
I
guy.
like
He's all stoic with his little
I
silhouette
like it.
there.
Looking
like a boss.
serious, man. Everybody that knows me know it's the rare situation where I'm looking serious and I mean it.
know, right?
No, it's not that rare.
Gotta
But you
have
know,
that hardcore photo every once.
it's hard to look
you know?
serious when you have a smile. Do you ever think about that?
Yeah, you're right. Why is that so? I don't know why that is.
Isn't that weird? So like I look less serious more than most. I'm serious.
I look less. If you could fit that on a shirt, it would be perfect.
With a big old smile on my face. You know, I posted this on LinkedIn this morning and I thought it was hilarious. The very first birthday message I got was actually from my health share provider. And it was just to notify me that my age bracket increased. I jumped an age bracket now. So now my rates have gone up. I was like, that was such an opportunity to make me laugh. Like if we just it would have taken $0 to write, you know, like lots of things get better with age or whatever over and over. I mean, we missed it, but hey, I walked in the office today. I was like, don't we get off on our birthday? Like pretending that's why I was kind of like running in the office late because I forgot I had to work today. But you know,
it doesn't work.
You and I and so many people in this auto industry are not the type that, hey, if you take your birthday off, not judging that.
Not judging that at all.
There's a thing about just loving what you do and being driven and like, hey, it's a Monday morning and a 5-weekend month and we have some things to do.
Yeah, we got some definite things to do. I'm excited. We're going to be on the road a little bit this week. So
yes, in
dealerships with some industry partners. That'll be really cool. We'll try and show you around what we're doing this week. But man, we have got only 71 days till ASOTU CON, Paul.
It's disgusting.
That is disgusting. Well, I'm excited because like the rate of people that were like, yep, I'm coming, buying tickets last week. Our conversations with the Maryland Auto Dealers Association, with WOCAN, the Women of Color Automotive Network, are heating up. They're bringing a bunch of people. We're scheduling some time to hang out with Will Guidara before the event so we can kind of introduce you to him.
He's our keynote speaker. Yep.
And if you haven't picked up the book, you got to pick up Unreasonable Hospitality before you come. And it's like, it is full throttle go time at Team ASOTU for ASOTU CON, right?
Without a doubt. I walked down the steps. I think it was Saturday morning. And my wife, oftentimes she's up and she's reading and she's a big, reader. And she like, when she reads, there's like an event, right? There's a notebook, there are reading glasses, there's like a lap desk, right? There's a blanket involved, right? It's a whole situation. You know what she was reading? Unreasonable Hospitality.
Watch it.
And she's like 4 pages in. She's like, I already have a page of notes. She's like, we need to do more of this stuff. So
I saw Tony Owens was posting about it this week. I think he saw a podcast of ours talking about it. He's a fixed ops manager at Germain. He's reading it. I'm sure he's going to change up some stuff over there. So like it's taken over inside and outside of the industry.
Absolutely. And if you want like an easy onboard to the book, and if you have like Spotify Premium, you can listen to it for free. So just listen to I guarantee you, if you listen to like 4 minutes of the introduction, or if you read just 3 or 4 pages, you will be hooked immediately. So Will's going to be our keynote speaker at ASOTU CON. Go to ASOTUCon.com. You can see the growing list of speakers. We already have over 50, I think, confirmed, and there's going to be more. Again, Kyle mentioned the Auto Dealer Associations. Maryland's going to be there having a meeting, but also represented there on panels and such. You got Virginia, Pennsylvania. We're going to have Washington. We're in talks with Florida, California, right? Dealer associations this year.
Everybody.
If you're a dealer, come on out. If you're an industry partner, hey, you want to be a part of the game? Email us. We got some stuff cooking aside from that, but we've been going on and on.
It's
birthday Monday, things get a little sloppy. Right?
He said a little sloppy.
All right, let's talk
Speaking
about
of not being sloppy.
being real buttoned up.
Buttoned up. Woo.
They have a lot of serious faces, not so many smiles, but they're smiling now. Toyota continues to project a measured future for battery electric vehicles, with North America CEO Ted Ogawa estimating they will constitute the EVs, battery EVs, just 30% of their U.S. sales by 2030, diverging from more ambitious EV targets. He says, in an exclusive interview with Automotive News, I know the EPA is reconsidering what the regulation level should be. However, I like the however. Our starting point is what the customer demand should be. We're respecting the regulation, but more important is customer demand. Give me the horn. I know.
I had to do the applause. I didn't even want to do the horn because I felt like the horn would have disrespected the.
I think you're right. Standing O for Mr. Ogawa and Toyota.
Standing O.
The EV standards, as proposed, require 54 to 60% BEV penetration by 2030. Current analysts don't include plug-in hybrids. So 2024 is starting the year for Toyota's multi-path strategy, offering different levels of electrification. So they're obviously saying, we know there are regulations and we will buy energy credits from other companies in order to satisfy consumer demand and not produce what they don't want, basically.
Wow. Tesla's licking their chops.
Yeah, they are. Like, we got credits. You want credits? We got credits.
You got credits. It's just over. And I mean, someone's going to make a meme. Maybe it's Brian Ortega of us one day looking into a Toyota's eyes with hearts around ours. Right. But when you talk about customer demand and that being the central focus, you always are going to win. I'm still hopeful that they come out with a strategy that we just haven't seen, kind of blindside everybody and go, wow, we just weren't expecting that was going to be the best path forward. Although hybrids are clearly the strategy right now. But it's like up and down the org that they believe this is the strategy. What's funny to me is actually in 2022, late 2022, the current chairman, Mr. Toyota, was saying like, hey, look, we're not going all in on EVs. And then in 2023, there was a kind of a move away from that just to satisfy what seemed like the public eye. And they never really made the dollar investments in it, but now have been able to go back to the resolutions made in 2022 and say, no, we're actually sticking with the hybrid game. Like, I don't know if it was just a political play or if there was kind of some maneuvering internally to figure out if they were going to move toward EVs, but they are totally resolved at this point.
Yeah, probably a little bit of both. Speaking of, we're going to need a little bit of both.
We're going to need a lot of bit of both.
We need a lot of bit of both. That's great. A company named Gravity Mobility. They are backed by Google. Oops. They've launched the Fastic. Okay, I hit the wrong button. I hit the wrong button on my thing and all my sound went dead. So I just threw me for a minute. They're going to start over. Gravity Mobility, backed by Google, has launched the fastest public EV charging solution in the US. Actually, it's a lot faster. The startup has introduced 24 chargers in New York City, currently open only to fleet operators. These chargers can have a 500 kilowatt capacity, capable of charging 200 miles. And get this, only 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
5 minutes, meaning they could charge actually up to 2,400 miles of range per hour. So, and here's another thing. The chargers are only the size of a carry-on suitcase. So you've seen the Tesla chargers, the big stand-up pedestals, and they say they are capable and ready to manufacture and deploy thousands of these annually, with further sites development beyond Manhattan. So most EVs capacity and how fast they can even receive energy is 350 kilowatts. These obviously go up to 500 kilowatts. Tesla superchargers right now, only 250 kilowatts. So they doubled.
I mean, it makes sense because a 350 mile Tesla is about a 20-25 minute charge. So like you
to 80%,
quick math. It's right to 80%. You start to do the quick math. It makes a ton of sense.
I mean, the bottom line is, like, this is, everybody has said over and over and over, until charging your EV gets as fast and as easy as pumping gas, the adoption curve is really going to change. And so, Kyle, I don't know, maybe this is part of the solution. It sounds like.
Yeah, I think this is like almost on the curve to getting to the solution. If I had to guess, in a year's time, this company is probably going to advance that technology even more. You look at it, it's like primed and ready for advancement. The way that they've kind of segmented the battery, the way that they've handled cooling, the way that they've even handled storage, like on wall, hung from ceiling, on a pedestal. They've got multiple different applications and installation points. This is and watch. If I had to guess, you're going to start to see companies like other Exxon or BP or anything like that start to license these things.
Tech, yeah.
Because they even showed like an installation pattern on how do you get these on poles in a pattern similar to the way that we do gas stations now. So I can see this starting to be the real way that we start to see everybody develop their stuff, and maybe there's licensing on the patent or something like that.
But the truth is,
when it's like this big, well, who wouldn't want it?
I know
like
it.
that.
The truth is, even with this technology, having to adjust the platform that these vehicles are on, like having to adjust actually platform side stuff. I mean, we still have years until we're at this point. But this is finally put something in the most realistic like frame that I can see it. Right, 5 minutes to 200 miles is like, and if you're going on a long
and like
trip,
you said, I mean, even the cars like max out at 350 kilowatt hours, and so you can't even get all of the full,
no, it would give it would give you 2/3, right? So it's like it'd be 15 minutes to 200 miles. Still isn't bad. It's still faster than we're doing now.
Way faster.
All right, speaking of way faster,
hey,
segue
time. You thought they were dead, but they're not. The self-driving robotaxi Waymo is not dead yet after receiving approval to operate its vehicles up to 65 miles an hour. Really interesting. On highways in parts of LA and the Bay Area following a California regulator's decision. The company plans a careful and incremental expansion without immediate highway service plans amid safety concerns and high-profile crashes involving their autonomous vehicles. The CPUC, which stands for the California Public Utilities Commission, approved Waymo's expansion, dismissing requests for evidentiary hearings and citing continuous technology and safety improvements. So maybe they got some backdoor knowledge that we don't all have.
Probably.
According to the commission, the statement was Waymo has shown its attention to continuous evaluation and improvement of its technology, safety practices, and aspects of its operations involving humans that minimize the risk of driverless passenger service operations.
Okay.
So,
I don't know if you've ever driven in LA or the San Francisco Bay Area.
And nobody going 65.
You know a few things. Number one, 65 miles an hour is just a dream that other people in other cities get to realize. Secondly, I don't know. I mean, they're good. It does seem like moving at a higher pace on a highway is just easier operation anyway. Right. Like you look at all the complexities.
Stop and go is harder.
Driving, stop and go, pedestrians, and all of these things. So I think this will be good overall. I mean, it's kind of a measured like this. We talk about all these technologies.
I'm just waiting for some
forward.
traffic cones to be on the tops of these things on TikTok.
Gosh, that's that's coming. But I think all of these things that we're talking about, all of these technologies, if you've been around for 5 years, even, you realize there have been several technologies we've talked about in retail automotive that have been like mini panic moments. Oh man, autonomy is going to kill us. Oh man, agency model is going to kill us. Oh man, electrification is going to kill us. And like what happens is the reality with every single one of these, they've either stopped altogether or they've slowed substantially to come back down to what the rational market is willing to give it. And
slowed enough for companies like Gravity Mobility to really do the hard work on the R&D of what's necessary to do this thing at scale. And so I think that's what we're going to start to see over the next 3 years is like, instead of just mass hysteria around what's next, it's going to be mass hysteria around the reality of what the timeline and that it takes for R&D to actually get to production mode. And we might actually see some of the advancements that actually are necessary to do things like autonomous driving or really charge EVs. And we'll start to see the real transition happen over the next, we'll call it 3 years, because I think the technology will go that quick.
Funny thing about that, competition breeds excellence. Excellence goes rewarded. It's a little thing I think I learned in economics class called capitalism. We hope you have an amazing Monday today. We will see you here bright and early tomorrow.